Welcome to Sunday, everybody. I wanted to take the time here to get a special weather update out. We've got a lot of weather coming this week, and while the weather is relatively benign here over the next 2.5 days, give you time to prepare because certainly it does look like the Pacific and the Arctic are going to join forces to bring some pretty harsh winter conditions to many areas of the Rockies and the Northern Plains. So let's kind of go through what's going to be unfolding. This is being brought to you by Cowboy State Daily and also being brought to you by WYDOT. Well, this is a lot to throw at you on this Sunday, so I'm just going to kind of list going through what we're most concerned about as we put together what is a lot of moving parts. First of all, we've got a lot of wind for parts of Wyoming and Colorado in particular. Very strong winds are going to be developing over the next 3 days as strong jet stream winds come through the area. Now, it's going to be mild. Temperatures along and east of the divide going to be in a Chinook mode. So temperatures through today, through Monday and Tuesday, except for places like Montana and northern Wyoming, are going to be pretty warm, but very windy. Moist flow in the jet stream winds will be producing occasional snow in the northern and central mountains of the region today through Tuesday. Then the Arctic surge comes in and hits Montana and northern Wyoming by late Monday and the Tuesday, as well as the western Dakotas. Those areas will be into snow and falling temperatures by Monday night and the Tuesday. Then the Arctic air dives south through the rest of Wyoming, into Nebraska, into Colorado, and west of the divide as well, into Idaho and parts of Utah as we get into late Tuesday night and during the day Wednesday. As we talked last week, this Arctic air will be overrun by Pacific moisture, and those states listed there is where the snow is going to be the heaviest. However, there will also be significant snow in these areas as well in the overrunning situation. Then bitter cold comes in. This is yet another intense Arctic surge again this winter, and the good news is it won't be long lasting, but there's going to be a period of time from Tuesday night through early Friday morning of bitter cold temperatures, bitter cold wind chills, hazardous livestock weather, and we're going to have another situation here where travel is just going to be really hard in many areas, especially where there's still a lot of snow cover. And then as we talk about, when Arctic air retreats, blowing snow becomes a problem. And so after the storm, late Friday into next weekend, blowing snow, especially in Wyoming, is going to be a problem again. So let's see how things unfold. Today, this is today's weather chart. You can see the northwest wind flow coming through. This is going to bring the snow to the high country, and the strong jet stream winds aligning here with these black lines coming right through, going to be causing the high winds. And here you go. These are wind gusts potential as we go through the next 3 days. And you can see the focus on central and southern Wyoming, but into the mountains of Colorado, down into southern Colorado as well, as there's just going to be a lot of wind in the wind-prone gap areas. This is what the snowfall looks like through Tuesday afternoon. So you can see the overrunning is going to be starting up into Montana and the northern Dakotas during the day Tuesday and the Tuesday night, and just kind of reaching the I-90 corridor of Wyoming and South Dakota as we get into late Tuesday afternoon and evening. And then the snow that you see elsewhere is basically just what we call orographic snow coming in those strong jet stream winds. So first of all, it's going to be really windy, some high country snow, then those northern areas are going to start to feel it. By Wednesday morning, the plunge of Arctic air comes in unabated. It's going to come in strong both sides of the divide, but there's going to be a big push east of the divide. And then you can see southwest winds are going to be overrunning winds on the surface coming from the north. A classic overrunning situation. And I'll show you how the Arctic air is going to go. This is for 11 p.m. Tuesday. So you can just basically say the Arctic air is going to be right along this orange-blue boundary here. So this is by 11 p.m. Tuesday. This is by 5 a.m. Wednesday. This is by 5 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. So the deep purple is sub-zero. So you can see the progression rather rapidly from Tuesday night and into the day on Wednesday. These are forecasted low temperatures for Thursday morning. Now, these could change. This is a guide basically to show you that if you're in the gray or those purple areas, you're single digits or you're going far below zero. Look at the wind chill values by Thursday morning. They're going to be 30, 35 degrees, probably going to see some 40-degree below zero temperatures in those areas. So you can see Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Nebraska, and the northern Colorado getting into the act. Now, by Wednesday afternoon, there is going to be a big push of warmer, moist air right here coming up and over on top of the Arctic air. And this really starts Tuesday night. Late Tuesday night and especially early Wednesday, through the day Wednesday, is the peak of the snow as it comes through. This is the precipitation that is being forecasted, and you can see this arch here. This arch right here is really showing what I'm outlining here is where the overrunning threat is going to be the highest, especially along and east of the divide where that collision takes place. But you can see how widespread the coverage of the precipitation is. Now, I'm going to show you the snowfall map, and I want you to just use it as a guide. Don't focus on the numbers so much, because these numbers are going to change as we get a little bit closer. The numbers are really impressive in terms of inches, but again, I want you to just look where the pink and the darker color blue areas are, because that's where the snow will be the most significant, the most problematic in terms of accumulations and then blowing snow later. So look at how widespread those pink areas are. So this is going to be an extensive, widespread area. Again, we'll take a look at the snow totals as we get a little bit closer. We will probably see some of the heavier snow get a little bit further south here, as the Arctic air is usually not handled well by the models, and it always ends up coming further south than they project. And again, we'll update as we get this closer. But as you can see, it goes without saying, we've got a lot of winter weather ahead. Then here's the wind. This is for next weekend. If we get all that snow on the ground, then as the strong winds pick up as the Arctic air retreats, then blowing and drifting snow on roads, highways, and mountain passes next weekend are going to be a headache. So we'll update you tomorrow morning. Have what's left of the weekend. Have it good for you. We'll see you then.